As we stand here on November 12, 2025, the air is thick with anticipation and uncertainty. Across Europe, people are waking up to a barrage of weather alerts and anxious conversations about what's to come. A complex weather scenario is unfolding across Europe, with meteorologists tracking a tangled web of storm systems and shifting atmospheric patterns. There's a lot of noise, alarming headlines about an Arctic storm of the century for the UK, and social media buzzing with dramatic predictions and viral videos. Let's cut through the hype and focus on the real threats. It's easy to get swept up in sensationalism, but the facts tell a more nuanced story. The truth. Europe faces not one, but several powerful weather systems, each impacting different regions in unique ways. The continent is divided by these systems, with each area facing its own set of challenges. The main concern isn't Arctic cold, but relentless, widespread rain. Streets are already slick, and rivers are rising as the downpours continue. Western and Central Europe are bracing for major flooding. Emergency crews are on alert, and communities are preparing sandbags and evacuation plans. Meanwhile, the Mediterranean is primed for severe thunderstorms, with coastal towns watching the skies for lightning and sudden squalls. And the high mountains to the east are about to see their first real snow, transforming landscapes and creating new travel hazards for those regions. This is a classic case of multiple atmospheric patterns creating simultaneous hazards. The weather is dynamic, and the risks are evolving hour by hour. What happens over the North Atlantic shapes the weather for millions downstream. The Atlantic is the engine, sending waves of energy and moisture toward the continent. Over the next 10 days, we'll see dramatic impacts from these persistent, powerful patterns, amplified by our changing climate. Floods, landslides, and infrastructure damage are all on the table. This isn't just another November storm, it's a symptom of a more volatile reality. Each event is a reminder of how our climate is shifting, making extremes more common. We'll break down each threat one by one so you know what to expect and how to stay safe. Forget the Arctic freeze headlines. The real story is water, not ice. It's the relentless rain and flooding that will define this week. Atmospheric rivers, supercharged sea temperatures, and a jet stream aimed at Europe are the real drivers. These forces are combining to create a perfect storm of wet, wild weather. From Ireland's saturated fields to Greece's battered coasts, weather is the top story, and we're here to cover every angle, helping you separate fact from fiction as this extraordinary November unfolds. The biggest immediate danger facing Western and Central Europe from November 11th to 20th is major, widespread flooding. This isn't just a passing concern, it's a looming crisis that could affect millions of people, disrupt daily life, and test emergency response systems across the region. The UK, Ireland, France, and Germany are directly in the path of this threat, with their cities, towns, and rural areas all at risk. These countries are bracing for a barrage of storms that could bring record rainfall totals. We're not talking about a single storm, but a relentless train of low-pressure systems, each one loaded with moisture and bringing heavy, persistent rain. These systems will arrive one after another, giving the land a little time to recover. The ground is already saturated, like a sponge that can't absorb more water. Fields, parks, and even forests are waterlogged, leaving nowhere for the rain to go. Any new rain quickly becomes runoff. Overwhelming drainage systems and leading to two types of flooding: surface water flooding in cities, where streets and basements fill up fast, and river flooding as streams and rivers overflow their banks, threatening homes, businesses, and infrastructure along their paths. This isn't gentle autumn rain. These systems are loaded with moisture and will hit the same regions repeatedly, increasing the risk of severe, prolonged flooding. Residents in low-lying or river-adjacent areas need to be on high alert. Even those who have never experienced flooding before could be at risk this time. Emergency services will be stretched thin, responding to calls for help. And landslides are a real risk in hilly terrain, where saturated soil can suddenly give way. The impact will ripple through society: disrupted transport, waterlogged fields, and delays to everything from food deliveries to daily commutes. And it's not just physical damage. The psychological toll from endless gray days, constant rain, and uncertainty can weigh heavily on communities. This is a high-confidence forecast. The atmospheric setup is locked in, and meteorologists are urging everyone to take the warnings seriously. The conveyor belt of moisture is already rolling, with satellite imagery showing a steady stream of rain-laden clouds heading straight for Western Europe. The primary weather story for Western Europe is water, and lots of it. Prepare for road closures, train delays, agricultural losses, and interruptions to daily routines. The risk of landslides and infrastructure damage is real, with roads, bridges, and utilities all vulnerable to the relentless onslaught of water. Stay informed and heed local warnings, monitor weather alerts, check in with neighbors, and have a plan in case evacuation becomes necessary. This is a critical time for millions across the region. Communities must come together, support one another, and remain vigilant as the situation unfolds. Flooding is the headline. Don't underestimate it. The days ahead will test resilience, preparation, and the ability to adapt to rapidly changing conditions. What's driving this relentless rain? Look west, to the North Atlantic. The culprit, a powerful North Atlantic dipole, two opposing pressure systems. A deep trough of low pressure spins west of Europe, while a strong ridge of high pressure blocks the pattern elsewhere. This creates a dramatic pressure gradient, energizing the jet stream. The jet stream, now supercharged, acts like a conveyor belt, slinging storm after storm toward the UK, France, and Germany. The blocking high acts as a wall, forcing storms to dump moisture over the same areas repeatedly. This stable, stubborn pattern locks in wet weather for at least a week. The North Atlantic is the engine room, running at full throttle. Energy and moisture are being transported directly into Western Europe. This is how large-scale patterns thousands of miles away create local disasters. There's a critical amplifier at work: climate change. Record-breaking sea surface temperatures in the North Atlantic and Mediterranean are supercharging these storms. Oceans are running up to 3 degrees Celsius warmer than average, an enormous reservoir of extra heat. Warm water fuels storms, allowing air to absorb more moisture. The result: heavier, more intense rainfall when that air hits land. This isn't theory, it's happening now, just as climate scientists warned. Every fraction of a degree in ocean warming means more moisture for storms. The climate change signal is loud and clear. This amplification turns a serious flood threat into a potentially catastrophic one. Europe's risk calculation has changed, permanently. Let's debunk the Arctic storm of the century myth. Sensational headlines claim a historic freeze is about to hit the UK. The facts, no data, no model, and no official forecast support this. The UK Met Office predicts a mild, windy, and exceptionally wet period. Not an Arctic blast. Temperatures will be average or above for mid-November. Any wintry weather will be limited to the highest Scottish peaks, normal for this time of year. The Arctic storm narrative is a misreading of long-range models and a thirst for drama. Misinformation distracts from the real danger flooding. Trust official sources, not clickbait headlines. The real threat is water, not a phantom blizzard. While the West floods, the Mediterranean faces a different threat: severe storms. Record warm sea temperatures fuel instability, priming Spain, Italy, and Greece for dangerous thunderstorms. Expect damaging hail, strong winds, and torrential downpours. Flash floods are a real risk, especially in urban and hilly areas. There's also a real chance for a metacane, a rare hurricane-like storm over the Mediterranean. Metacanes can bring hurricane-force winds, storm surge, and extreme rainfall. The risk isn't certain, but it's high enough to warrant serious attention. The Mediterranean is a second hotspot for hazardous weather. Stay alert and heed local warnings. Far to the east, the Caucasus Mountains are about to see their first real winter blast. Around November 14th, a northerly wind shift will bring cold air and significant snowfall to high-altitude areas in Azerbaijan and Armenia. This marks the true onset of winter for the region's peaks, making travel treacherous and requiring final winter preparations. Lower elevations will see cold rain, but the main story is a deep snowpack in the mountains. This highlights Europe's weather diversity. While France floods, the Caucasus freezes. Europe isn't a single weather block, it's a continent of microclimates. 3 different weather stories are unfolding at once. In contrast to the chaos elsewhere, Western Russia faces a calm, stable forecast. Major cities like Moscow will see mild temperatures, persistent cloud cover, and little precipitation. No storms, no floods, no blizzards, just routine, gray November days. Western Russia sits outside the main storm tracks and pressure gradients. Temperatures will stay above freezing, keeping snow and ice at bay. This pocket of calm is part of the continental story, defining the boundaries of active weather. While much of Europe braces for impact, Western Russia enjoys a rare spell of tranquility. Step back, and the picture is clear. Europe is now facing an unprecedented convergence of weather threats, all at the same time, across the continent. The scale and frequency of these events are unlike anything seen in recent memory, signaling a profound shift in our climate reality. In the West, relentless rain and flooding have become a recurring nightmare, overwhelming cities and rural areas alike, disrupting daily life and causing billions in damages. In the South, severe storms and the rare but dangerous metacane threaten coastal communities, bringing hurricane-force winds and torrential downpours to regions unaccustomed to such extremes. Meanwhile, in the east, the first true winter snow arrives earlier and heavier than expected, blanketing cities and farmlands and straining infrastructure. This exposes a critical vulnerability. Our risk models, the very tools we rely on to predict and prepare, are based on a climate that no longer exists. The assumptions of the past are failing us. Record warm oceans are amplifying weather patterns, fueling storms and making them more intense, unpredictable, and widespread than ever before. The old playbooks can't keep up. Emergency planners and meteorologists are being forced to rethink strategies on the fly as traditional responses fall short. What once seemed improbable, floods, hurricanes, and snowstorms happening together in the same season is now a stark reality, challenging our ability to respond. We're in uncharted territory and must urgently adapt our thinking, our infrastructure, and our preparations to meet these new challenges head-on. This November event is more than just another storm. It's a warning. Compound weather crises are no longer rare. They are fast becoming the new normal for Europe. We must update our risk assessments, invest in resilient infrastructure, and rethink how we protect our communities for this new era of climate uncertainty. The atmosphere is sending a clear, urgent signal, one that can no longer be ignored or dismissed as an anomaly. Are we truly listening, and are we ready to act decisively, together, to safeguard our future? The safety of millions depends on the choices we make now, in this new reality of weather risk.